blood is thicker than water, but Iman is thicker than blood. That's your brother that you look down at. That's your sister that you are reviling. What? Because of her color, because of her nationality, because of her tribe, because of their class, because of their postcode. Racism, tribalism, this nationalism, all this stuff, this tribalism stuff is a type of kufr. That's right. As you know, the kufr is of two types. There's major kufr and minor kufr. Major kufr takes you outside the fold of Islam. Minor kufr doesn't take you outside the fold of Islam. But it's something that is so evil that the Sharia called it kufr because it's an action of the kuffar. It doesn't make you a disbeliever, but you're doing the actions of the disbelievers. The person should be very scared for themselves that they're doing something that Allah called kufr, or the Prophet ﷺ called kufr. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Ithnani fi nas, huma bihim kufr." There are two things that are inside of the people, they are kufr. Al-ta'nu fi nasab. The first thing is to put people down, to insult them, to belittle them based on their tribe, based on their race, based on their nationality. To put people down because of their tribe, for their lineage. The second thing is وَالنِّيَاحَةُ عَلَى الْمَيِّتِ, to wail when someone dies. Scream and shout and break things down and whatever have you. This is something that is from the actions of the kuffar. They wail and scream and they lose themselves when someone dies, and they also put down the people due to their lineage. Brothers and sisters, you put down a man and you reject him. You reject him, he's a righteous man, but you reject him for marriage for no other reason, because of the color of his skin, because of the tribe where he's from, for your daughter. Or you don't hire a person because he's from this nationality or that color of skin or whatever have you. You don't let him be the imam in your masjid for that reason. You don't invite him as a khatib for that reason, because he's not from your tribe, from your people, from your lineage. You look down on him. You look down on him because of that reason. You could be committing minor kufr based on the hadith. Unfortunately, another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said this issue of putting people down because of lineage is something that will always remain. It's an issue that we can fight with, but it will always remain. It's not something that will be completely eradicated forever, that will never come back. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Arba'un fi ummati min amr al-jahiliyyah." There are 4 things in my ummah that are from the affairs of jahiliyyah, from the affairs of ignorance. La yatrukuhunna. They will not be left off. The people will not be able to leave these things. Number 1, al-fakhru fil ahsab. Is to boast about the virtues of yourself and your people, your tribe, your nationality. Look at us. We're this. Look at what we did. Look at us. Look how great we are. Your gang, your people, your nationality, your tribe, your race. وَالطَّعْنُ فِي الْأَنْسَابِ. The second thing is to belittle people based upon their lineage, to put them down. Look at him, he's this. Hey, look at me, he's low people. They can't marry our daughters. They can't do this. They can't do that. We can't hire them. These kind of people are like that. Look where they come from. Look who their fathers were. Look at the color of their skin. Look at their race. Look at where their background's from. It's something, as I mentioned to you in the previous hadith, it's a type of kufr. It's minor kufr. It's a type of kufr though. Minor kufr. Here, we're told that it will always remain. And the second 2 things is people used to seek help from the rain. They used to seek help from the stars for rain to come. And then the 4th thing is an-niyaha, which I mentioned prior, which is to wail over the people who are dead. Come back to the issue of al-fakhru fil ahsab, boasting about your people and your lineage, and wa-ta'nu fil ansab, and putting down other people's lineages and their tribes and their nationality, whatever have you. These are 2 things that will always remain. So then the question comes to mind, if it always remains, then how do we deal with it? Because the reality of the matter is, my brothers and sisters, and I just want to be a bit real with you here, and this is advice that I took from Ustad Ma'awiyah Tucker when I was discussing this issue with him. He's one of the teachers on the Knowledge College, and he runs Al-Madar Institute in East London, and he's a graduate from the Medina University. He said something profound. He said, people, generally speaking, have prejudices. If you manage to overcome prejudice and racism towards a particular race, there will be another race that you will have some kind of prejudice, discriminatory, racist tendency towards. That's bad. It's not good, but it's a reality. That very few people do you actually find that are able to completely overcome it from all angles. Yes, they exist, and we should all be working towards it, and that's the goal. But the reality is that if you overcome racism towards, for example, African Jamaican people, Afro-Caribbean people, sorry, you may have it towards Chinese. If you overcome it towards Chinese, you may have it towards Indians. If you overcome it towards them, you may have it towards Caucasians. Maybe not at the grand level. For example, African Caribbean people, they suffer to a very high level. Some people, it's more subtle and it's more institutional. It's more hinted. So let's just say you overcome it here, in a blatant way, but you might still have it towards African Caribbean people in a subtle way, or people from other races, or other tribes, or other nationalities. So then, how do we deal with it if it's always there until the end of time? But we individually, as individuals, must overcome it, and our families must overcome it. As in, we can overcome it completely. I'm not saying that an individual can't overcome it completely, but as humanity will never conquer racism. That's my point. As the Prophet ﷺ said. But we're going to overcome it individually. That's what we want to work towards. But okay, whilst we're working towards it, individually trying to overcome it, and how do we do that? By connecting ourselves to Allah, realizing that there is no one better than another person based upon virtue. Automatically, racism is eradicated as a product of you connecting yourself to Allah Azza wa Jal. But in the process, how do we deal with that which is inherently maybe inside of us, that we're battling with? It's like, I'm not over it, I can feel it, like I might have a little feeling towards another people, but how do I battle it? How do I overcome it? How you battle it is by, at the very least, not actualizing it. If someone comes to you and you think to yourself, oh, this person's from that place, that part of the world, at the very least you can do, it's bad enough that you have that in you, but the very least you can do is not speak it out loud, not make it as a joke, not say it as an insult. Like you might have a man from a different ethnic background come to want to marry your daughter, and you don't see anything wrong with his deen, except for the fact that he's a black man, or he's a this man or that man. That feeling is bad. The way that you fight it is by saying, you know what, okay, you can marry my daughter. Of course, he fulfills the criteria of marriage and his deen is correct. But you say, because I felt it, at the very least I'm not going to actualize it. It's in me, it's an internal thing. But I will fight it and I will actualize the opposite. That's one of the ways that you will actually be able to suppress this issue inside of yourself while submitting to Allah by learning Tawheed, becoming a slave of Him, submitting to Him, falling in love with Allah. And when you fall in love with Allah, you naturally want to love the things He loves and you hate the things that Allah hates. And you realize Allah has no basis for love and hate based on color, and no basis for love and hate based on tribes or ethnicities and nationalities. So automatically what will happen is you will automatically You will not care about color. That's the long term, that's the goal. But whilst that's happening, at the very least, suppress it in you and don't actualize it. Don't actualize it at the very least. Hey guys, I really hope that you benefited from that video. Before you go, I want to ask you a really important question. Have you guys ever thought about studying Islam and seeking knowledge? If not, then I want you to reflect upon this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet said that seeking knowledge is obligatory upon every single Muslim. Of course, that doesn't mean you have to be a scholar, but you have to know the basics in order for you to be the best possible slave and worshipper of Allah that you can possibly be. So we decided to provide a solution for this. You see, many people want to study, but they don't have the means or the resources to do so. So we set up an online institute called the Knowledge College, where you can study Islam from the comfort of your own home. So if you want more information on the Knowledge College and you'd like to sign up, go to the link below, check out the website, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum.